everybody, and welcome to another great Super Sports Collection Show. My name is Bruce Starr, and my co-host Alex. How you
Hello,
doing?
everybody.
Good to see you. This is getting more and more exciting because last show that we did, we interviewed a two-time Super Bowl champion, a two-time defensive player, not of the week, not of the month, but a two-time defensive player of the year, Leonard Marshall from the '85 New York Giants. What a great, great interview that was. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go back and take a look at it. I've contacted literally dozens of other athletes to come on the show, and I'm getting some pretty good responses. So we're going to have some athletes, probably every week, we'll have some athletes coming on the show. By the way, Mr. Alex, look at that weird field behind me. Any idea what field that is?
That's the Polo Grounds.
How did you know that?
I have a little bit of knowledge of old stadiums, a little bit.
Wow. Well, the Polo Grounds were up on a hill overlooking the Bronx and Manhattan, I believe, until 1964, when the new Shea Stadium opened up. And believe it or not, in this stadium behind me, in 62 and 63, the New York Jets played football and the New York Mets played baseball.
I didn't know about the Jets. That's interesting.
Yeah. I went to a couple of games of each. And of course, I was just an infant, 1 or 2 years old. But so it was quite an experience. And it was really sad, of course, when they both left the stadium, because as you can see, even back then, it was kind of an older design stadium, and it didn't have any of the modern things that any of the stadiums have now. And it was kind of sad to see them kind of knock down this beautiful stadium and move over to Shea Stadium in Queens. This actually overlooked Yankee Stadium. You could see Yankee Stadium clear as day across I think it's the Bronx River, the East River, and it's right on the other side. It was a great stadium and gone forever, only in certain people's memories. So I thought it would be fun to have that in the background of our show. So we're going to have interesting things to show you this at this show. One of them is that we've been talking for different shows now about getting cards autographed. So if you could tell us a little bit about how you've been doing with that, how has that been progressing for you?
So it's actually been kind of slow recently. A lot of people or a lot of athletes that I would figure would come back a little bit quick have been coming back a little bit slower than expected, even though they've had recent successes. I actually, funny story, just got 2 back in one day from when before I moved. So this has been about 6 months or so at least.
Whoa.
These guys have been known to respond pretty quick. So I thought I lost these in the mail. I thought it was a wash. I counted it as a loss. But no, I got back Mr. Rick Monday. It's 1968, 1973, both signed, but he did not sign his 1978, which is okay. I'll take the 2 older ones signed.
Nice.
So that's a nice little surprise of a return. And the other one that I got back after about 6+ months was Mr. Ray Culp. Pitcher back. I sent him his 1963 rookie card and his 1967 card. A little bit shaky of his signature, so that's a little worrisome. You hope he's okay. And then the last card I got back was a 1958 Bud Daly. Signed it, nice
Wow,
blue
from the
right
Yankees.
across
He
the
played on
side.
the Yankees.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
wow,
one I have, he's on the Indians. He's on the
Indians.
Cleveland Indians, yeah. So, it's been a little slow. I've also been trying to find ways to speed up my process of getting more out. So I started printing labels, so that I can just stick them right on the envelopes instead of having to write out everything. But, trying to send out as many as I can. It's it's a little bit slow.
So I finally gave you some of my cards. I think I gave
Yeah.
you about 6. So it'll be exciting to see if and when those cards come back. And we also sent out some cards to be rated. I think we sent out 6 cards to be rated. I think that's what it was. So
Yes, we have 6 cards, including some of mine out at SGC. So we're waiting to hear back on that whenever they wanna
and we
send them on
also
back.
want to contact that company, don't we? We want to see if they want to in some way become aligned with the show that we have here.
Yes.
So tell me, how many autographs do you think you've received back over the years?
That's gonna be tough. Since I started, I'm gonna say I've only really been doing through the mail autographs for about 2 years now, going on 3. I would say I probably have about 250, upwards of 300. That
Wow.
doesn't seem like a lot, but, so I've lost some haven't come back signed, but I've also bought a lot of other ones that from deceased players or hard to get players. So, as far as ones I've sent out, I would say close to 300, if not more.
So how many are still out there, you think, that you're waiting on?
Well, I know I started keeping track. I know that there's at least 10 letters. Some I've sent in June of 2022, and there's some that I've sent within the last 2 months that are still waiting out, that are still out there.
Wow.
Yeah, so hoping to get them back. I mean, who knows? I've seen these guys have successes within the last month. I don't know where my cards went, if they got lost in the mail or if they just kept them. I don't know.
We just have to keep going with that because it's super interesting. And another thing that I'm finding is young people. One of the reasons I'm doing this show is to get young people interested in card collecting. And I've been gathering um, tons of common cards that I have. I'm going to throw a video up there to show you what I've been doing with them. I'm separating them by team. I'm working on baseball, by the way, now. I know I
Okay.
told you I was doing football, but I'm now working on baseball. And I believe I'm going to have well over 100 cards from the 80s and the 90s per team to give away to kids. So I'm really looking forward to do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bunch of them in my trunk and have them in my car. So when I come across a kid, I'm going to ask him what his favorite team is. And if he says the Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers, I'll pull out a pack of Los Angeles Dodger baseball cards. And you know what? There's rookie cards in there. There's all-star cards in there. There's superstars in there. There's some great pitchers, some great players. And that might be enough just to get them interested in either continuing with their collection or starting with their collection. And I hope that they'll go to stores like the one in Abacoa. Another thing that that I've been doing, and I know we've been doing on the lookout for this, is a way to support the kids. Is I've been contacting people that are having different events, garage sales, and seeing if they have common cards. And if they do, they either donate them to the kids, or I give them I'll say a minimal conservative amount of money, and I've been taking those cards and I've been distributing them by team, and I'm really excited about that because the cards that I've given out already, the kids, their eyes light up, and I just wish I could have gotten that on video. Imagine being able to train your mind with the same precision you train your body. The Awaken Mind headset offers personalized audio programs that can help enhance your concentration, reduce stress, and optimize recovery times. It's like having a personal mental coach available anytime you need to dial in your focus or unwind after an intense session. I believe that this tool can be a valuable addition to your training arsenal, giving you the mental sharpness and relaxation needed for those critical moments when games are won or lost. If you're interested in learning more about how this headset can be integrated into your routine for peak performance, contact me at the number below. I'd like to share more about how this technology can support your journey to the top. Wishing you continued success and looking forward to the possibility of contributing to your legacy as a professional athlete. And the other thing that we're doing, and I'm looking forward to bringing you to this new friend that I have, Richard, who lives right here in Jupiter. And I responded to a garage sale announcement of his a few weeks ago. And I asked him, do you have sports cards? He says, oh, yeah, I've got some sports cards. And I went over to his garage. My God, the what he has in there.
And I'll tell you what, when you sent me that picture with no context, just 5 boxes on top of each other, my eyes even lit up looking at that because I knew that guy had a lot of cards in his collection. You never know what's going to be in that garage. You can uncover some nice treasures in there.
Are sick of having all these boxes around taking up room. And not everyone wants to get rid of them, but maybe they would to kids, maybe they would to our show. So I'm putting the word out there. If you've got boxes of common cards, and I'm going to put a picture up of one of the purchases for a minimal amount of money that I made in the last week or so. I'm going to put that up now. And you might have cards that are sitting around just taking up room. You haven't known what to do with them. I will recycle them to the kids and get them out there to the kids and see if we can get them interested in collecting cards. So I look forward to taking you over to Richard's in the next week or so. And I think we'll both have a new friend. And he kind of said that he would share some of his knowledge about card collecting and memorabilia collecting. So we might be able to get him to do 5 minutes or so for each show, sharing his knowledge. He's 83 years old, so he's not a youngster anymore. And I want to make sure that he shares whatever knowledge he has with our young collectors.
I agree. I think that'll be really nice. I think that kind of helping out the kids and everything with cards is really nice too. Because nowadays everybody, associates these cards with, oh, you got to spend $1,000 here, $1,000 there, and it's too expensive for a lot of kids to even afford a nicer box. When I was a kid, I remember just opening packs at, you go to Target and get them for $1.99, and nowadays you don't have that, so it's definitely really nice to get a kid started with a collection about 100, 200, 300 cards, because then that's something they'll never forget.
I think when I used to go buying cards, they were a quarter, maybe they were 15 cents. I don't really think there were any more than that. The ones with the
No.
government, right? That was a lot of fun. Another thing that we're doing, I know this show is going to grow dramatically once we get the celebrities on here. I mean, that interview that we did with Leonard was priceless. I still can't get over learning from him all that he shared with us during that show. But I'm working on something else. Some of you may remember the 1969. I lived in New York in 69. What a year that was for New Yorkers. The Knicks won a championship. Joe Willie for the New York Jets won a championship. I think the Knicks may have won a championship that year with some great players. But there was one other team, maybe the Knicks didn't win. I don't remember. I'll check that out for the next show. but there was one other team that won the world championship against all odds, the amazing Mets.
Miracle Mets.
And, if you look at the players that were on their team, Cleon Jones, Ed Kranepool, Bud Harrelson, Al Weiss, Art Shamsky, Don Clendenin. These were, not the most known players, not the most skilled players, but they came together and they proved something just 7 years after the Mets inauguration year of 62, and just 5 years after they moved to Shea Stadium in 64. So in 1969, the amazing Mets won the World Series. And there was one guy on that team. His name is Art Shamsky. And Art Shamsky, I've been in touch with him. I told you this before. I've been in communication with him. I believe he's down here in South Florida right now. And I'm working on getting him a speaking engagement up here in North Palm Beach. So I'm waiting to hear back from both parties to see if we can put a puzzle together and have him come and speak. But would that be incredible to see Art Shamsky speaking up here in North Palm Beach?
Yeah, that would definitely be that's definitely something, because I remember when I first started writing out, he was one of the first guys I wrote out to, and he actually signed my 1972 for me. And then I haven't gotten them back since. So, that's kind of cool to, just put a face to the autograph.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in his probably in his early 80s. I don't. I'm sure them all those guys, and I know Ed Kranepool's around. We need to try
Yeah.
to get in touch with Ed Kranepool. He was this was Mr. New York. Even though the Yankees ruled, Ed Kranepool was Mr. New York for many years without being the superstar that some of the other players were. So I enjoyed this show. Any other last second remarks that you'd like to make before we close up shop here today?
No, I just want to say that hopefully, next show I can show you guys more of what's come back and what we've added to the collection, and hopefully the SGC cards come back. I know we got some good ones down. I did send 2 mantles down there. So hopefully they can come back and we can showcase them for you guys. That would be really, really fun.
Looking forward to it. I'd like to connect with that company, maybe have a meeting with them to see if they'd like to align themselves with us. I think they might find that attractive to them, and we might be a very good source of business for that company. So, Alex, once again, thank you very much for co-hosting here with me today, and I look forward to doing more shows, and it's going to be very exciting come a couple of months from now, because the guys will be here working out at the stadium in January, both the Cardinal players and the Marlin players. And then February starts spring training. So we got some work ahead of us. We want to make sure that we get ourselves in there so that we can interview some of the players, talk to them, meet them, and really get behind the scenes with spring training and some of the games. Also, you're going to have to, Alex, you're going to join me in the backfields, because I've been going to the backfields at the stadium in Abacoa for years. And that's where you get to talk to the players and get some great pictures taken with them. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Imagine being able to train your mind with the same precision you train your body. The Awaken Mind headset offers personalized audio programs that can help enhance your concentration, reduce stress, and optimize recovery times. It's like having a personal mental coach available anytime you need to dial in your focus or unwind after an intense session. I believe that this tool can be a valuable addition to your training arsenal, giving you the mental sharpness and relaxation needed for those critical moments when games are won or lost. If you're interested in learning more about how this headset can be integrated into your routine for peak performance, contact me at the number below. I'd like to share more about how this technology can support your journey to the top. Wishing you continued success and looking forward to the possibility of contributing to your legacy as a professional athlete. It's
Oh yeah.
it's almost December, and January and February is right around the corner. So, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.